Good morning. It's an honor to be amongst you, such lovely people, lovely people. I'm excited. I'm very excited, more excited than Lakshmi or Tammy would want me to be. I'm excited to be talking about the exciting times that we live in. Hmm? Would you agree with me that life has changed more over the last 10, 15 years than say previous 75 years? And you would also intuitively agree with me that life over next 10, 15 years may look very different from life, say, over the last 250 years. Correct? There has never been a time as such in history where every day brings new discoveries, new revelations, know your coconut, new inventions. We and the technologies that we have created has made this the most romantic age in our 200,000 year history, the most transformative era. At no other point in time has a rational mind been so intensely optimistic. Yes, there are worries and concerns, nuclear annihilation, melting polar caps, new diseases, hyper-nationalism, bigotry. But look at the other side of the coin. There is so much to look forward to. Genetic engineering, biotech, quantum computing, nanotechnologies, things that these would soon reveal to us. As I said, as you heard since morning, technology is transforming our ways of life. And driver of this change has to be undoubtedly AI. Look at how quickly AI has baked itself into our daily lives. Image and voice recognition, smart replies, Google Maps, Siri, Alexa, in that little thing in your pocket, autonomous vehicles, Roomba, one can go on and on. They have become a part of our quotidian everyday lives. We can't live without them, can we? AI promises to transform life. Every new technology does. Remember, we first invent technologies, and then these technologies go on to reinvent our ways of life. Think about it. Steam engine, wheel, steam engine, electricity, telephone, Google, all have been our inventions. All have gone on to redefine every bit of our life. Our life is getting redefined. And when life is getting redefined, societies are getting redefined, people are changing and transforming. How can retail, which was once a cozy business, which in all its history was about location, 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 is now about technology, technology, technology. Why you don't even need a physical store to be a retailer. One of the Target Spear doesn't have a physical store. With all this profundity, when I speak to people across the board, I sense that there lurks uncertainty, fear, and doubt about these technologies, technologies of AI included, and the future. I totally get it, it's understandable. With a change of such profundity, fear, doubt, uncertainties are normal. To my mind, my philosophical take on where this fear comes from, I'll share some examples. One of the fear I think comes from, we all know intuitively that intelligence is the most powerful thing in this world, right? It's our intelligence which has propped us on the top of the food chain. We're not the smartest animal out there, right? Otherwise, we are 2.21 on a scale of 5. That puts us right between anchovies and pigs. Yet we lord the universe basis of what? Basis of our technologies, basis of our intelligence. Now to contend that someone else or something else could be infinitely more intelligent than us is unsettling. Now to contend that our intelligence has limitation and this something else or someone else, intelligence keep going exponentially, infinitely, can be overtly terrifying. On your way back home, think about it. Your and mine intelligence peaked. The machine intelligence keeps infinitely growing. The second reason of fear, I think, comes from the talk about imminent job displacement and all the anxiety about how even specialized and super specialized jobs would be obsolete in near future, would be made obsolete to AI and automation and so on and so forth. To my mind, this is an avoidable and a dangerous generalization. The energy and the debate and the talk should be around what new skills have we to acquire to be relevant and in demand for tomorrow. What changes we need to make to our pedagogy. When specialized and super specialized jobs are most vulnerable to AI, then the Adam Smithian model of producing specialized skills and so on and so forth has to be reimagined. You would have sensed it. I'm an AI lover. And why do I love AI? Because strangely enough, it is AI, it is looking for artificial intelligence that is making us think about our natural intelligence. In our quest to bring human-like cognition to AI, we are looking at our 3-pound brain a little more closely. We are looking how does this 3-pound brain transforms into an amorphous, incredible mind. What is it to be human? What is self-awareness? What is consciousness? So far, we have looked at these age-old pertinent questions only and only through the lenses of religion and or philosophy. For the first time, we are applying algorithmic, scientific, quantitative lenses on this age-old problem. What excites me about AI, that in our lifetime, we might find answers to questions that Plato, Descartes, Kissa searched for. What excites me, that in our lifetime, we may find answers to who we really are. That said, the more I think about it, the more convinced I get, the more I realize that the coming future would ring the final bell for gender parity, that the prospect for gender parity and gender equality and inclusion has never looked better. Why? At least 3 good reasons. Number 1, not in any order. Number 1, machines willy-nilly acquire the personality of the creator, their values, their function. Assemble a set of men to ideate on an AI application and you will get one kind of result. Assemble a set of women to ideate on an AI application, chances are you get another set of results. Not because their talents are different, but their lived experiences, their priorities, their worldviews are. And if data AI algos have to truly represent us, then they have to be inclusive and diverse. Remember, the other reason that I think I skipped mentioning that we fear AI is this whole new creed of dataism. Dataism, a creed that gives legitimacy to the authority of data. Think about it. Just 300 years back, we believed in the authority of religious scriptures, right? And we followed whatever religious scriptures had to say. Then came the turn, a phase of humanism, where we believed in the authority of rational mind and subjective individual choices. Now that is giving way to what data, AI, and algorithm. For that belief is that data knows more about you than you or anybody can know about it. Very soon we'll be trusting data to make the most important decisions of our life. Who to mate, who to date, the health advice, who to wait for, who to vote for, what movie to watch, what book to read, how to biohack ourselves. So data, that passing of authority from our individual from individual subjective preferences to the primacy of data AI algorithm is other reason of fear to my mind. Coming back to why this is the final golden age that I see coming for women. So I was talking about that machines willy-nilly take the personality of their creators, and that machine, to be inclusive, needs to be diverse and inclusive. The second point why I think it's a golden age that is I see coming. Technology, as we all know, redefines our way of life. Right? We just talked about steam engine, how that changed our life, how telephone had changed our lives, and so on and so forth. I think all our societal codes and modes and norms, our finest institutions, our ideas of love, sexuality, democracy, freedom, job, money, the identity that we associate with it, our codes of ethics and morality, all have to be reimagined, all have to be rewritten. So far, it has only been men who have been writing our societal codes. If you look back at history, whether it is all our religious scriptures have been written by men. If you look down the history, the constitution of most countries have been written by men. I think while we stand at the cusp where we have to redefine, reimagine the new societal codes, the new societal norms, we want both men and women jointly to be writing it, and women to be there not for political correctness or tokenism, but we want our women, but we need our women to draft our tomorrow. The third reason, much like societal codes, are ethics and morality. The whole code of ethics and morality is appended, much like the societal codes are in throes of incredible change. Our codes of morality and ethics also needs to be reimagined. And how technology is used is a matter of great concern to me. Technology, as you all know, is amoral, neutral. Technology has no morality of its own. A knife is a knife. But you and I, humans, are different. A knife can be used to cut a salad, to cut a Gordian knot, and if you don't like me enough, right? So how technology is used, we have to be vigilant. We have to be active participants in framing the ethical guidelines of how these wonderful powers that we are being bestowed with is used. Just to state few quick examples, with all the powers of genetic engineering that may potentially change our evolutionary path, that may make the human evolution itself designed and deterministic, is godly powers. With the molecular seizures of CRISPR and Cas9, we can of course eliminate some dreadful diseases out of our lives, but the same CRISPR and Cas9 can be used to enhance unnatural capabilities, could result in designer babies, a new kind of weapon in designer armies. Look at the other example of data. Data has been the biggest change over the last 10, 15 years, right? Now, how this data is used by corporations and by governments. Take the example of government. The same data can be used to create a utopian welfare state. But the same data could be used to create an Orwellian surveillance state as well. There's a very thin and nuanced line. In love robots, we have, love robots are coming. How do we accommodate this new kind of sexuality into our lives? Look at internet and social media. Internet and social media was supposed to unite us. The irony is that what was supposed to unite us is dividing us. It was supposed to reflect the lofty ideals, the utopian ideals of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, the world is but one family. Instead, it is making us isolationists, pushing us into Koop Mandukams, frog in wells, making us Koop Manduks. We as societies, peoples, we have never been more radicalized, almost as if in a state of a civil war. War of words, opinion, ad hoc mandates, the idea of one family is fragmented into many. I guess, in summary, what I want to say is, as gender stereotypes gender stereotypes and brute force is giving way to problem solving and meritocracy. Both men and women have to nurture their unique human features. You can trust me right now. I am convinced that it is our humanness which will be our only USP in the technological future. There soon would be a time when BC and AD, before Christ, Anno Domini, Common Era, would be replaced by BSM and ASM, before social media and after social media. These would be our labels of history. Let it not be said, friends, that we wasted a grand opportunity, for this truly is the most romantic age in 200,000 years. It's truly a time to be alive. Thank you.